guys, and welcome back to another video in this series of legal maxims. In today's video, we are going to look into another maxim called as Solus Populus Suprema Lex. Now for the context, just imagine one fine morning when you're having a cup of tea, a government official knocks at your door. He says he wants part of your front yard to build a government road. What would you say? Do you think you have a right to save your front yard and you don't have any right and you have to give away your front yard? So that's what we are going to learn in this maxim, that welfare of the people is the highest concern and therefore you may actually have to give away your front yard. The word Solus Populus Suprema Lex translates to the welfare of the people is the highest concern. This particular maxim belongs to the law of land acquisition. When a government wants to acquisite one of your properties and it is for the welfare of the people, for example, maybe to build a dam, canals, or even road for that matter. In such a case, you may have to actually give your land. But not to forget that you will actually get compensation for the land you are giving. Therefore, state has to carry out many activities and sometimes it requires land for construction. Example, for construction of a dam, canal, etc. In such circumstances, it has to acquire the private land. But what if the person denies to give the land? Or a farmer may complain that we do not want to give our land. Then in such a case, the state cannot carry out the welfare activity. So when a private individual complains that they do not want to give their land and the state is not able to carry out its welfare activity, court applies the maxim of Solus Populus Suprema Lex and decides the case. Now this maxim is heavily emphasized by the doctrine of eminent domain. Now what do you mean by eminent domain? Now the word eminent domain, it means nothing else but all the resources of the nation belongs to the state. And therefore, whenever a state wants to take away such a private property, it can acquire property and the private owner enjoys limited or just compensation. And property can be acquired for public purpose. Now let's look into few cases in relation to this maxim. The first case we are going to refer to is a very famous case called as Narmada bachao Andolan versus Union of India. When a government decided to construct the Sardar Sarovar Dam, most of the land belonging to the farmers would be submerged. But keeping in mind, public welfare government decided to construct a dam. Many people started protesting that they do not want to give away their land and hence instead to give up their property and rehabilitate somewhere else. When the matter reached before the court applied the maxim of Solus Populus Suprema Lex. Okay, and decided in the favor of the construction of the land. Next, we are going to refer to another Goan case of Konkan Railway Corporation versus Goa Foundation. Now, in this case, government decided to construct railway line from Ernakulam to Mumbai as there was no facility for these people to travel there and therefore they suffered a lot of problem to commute. When government decided to start this railway line, many objections came as many people were losing their land. There was a lot of protest. Goa Foundation, a public-spirited NGO, filed a case as this railway line would disturb the wildlife as it is running from the forest. Matter came before the court. The state argued that they are doing this for the public benefit and therefore the welfare of the people is the highest concern here and then hence the reason they have decided to start the line. The court applied the maxim of Solus Populus Suprema Lex and decided the case in the favor of the railway line. Now the maxim of Solus Populus Suprema Lex should be followed with very much accuracy as it is very necessary that the particular project is actually helping the people. Okay, and secondly that minimum damage is caused to the environment. If these 2 points are not followed, then in which angle is the government actually cares about the welfare of the people? There is also another maxim which is associated with the same maxim. This maxim is called as necessitas publica major est quam privata. Now this maxim means that a public necessity is greater or more important than the private necessity. Okay, therefore this maxim also goes with the original maxim which we have studied today. So that's all for today's video guys. I'll see you around for the next video. Take care.